You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss.
Eric Thomas is a motivational speaker who talks about how to become successful even when you come from nothing. Eric started off in a low place himself. He was homeless, had family problems, and dropped out of school. He preaches not to focus on your disadvantages, but to focus on the positive.
You gotta have a reason for why you do what you do. When he comes out, he ain't tripping on LeBron.
What can you do, and who can you become? Find what you're best at and do it to your fullest. Find a place and a group of people who inspire you, and use them as your fuel to be successful.
Yeah, I think for real, man, most of them, and you gotta be humble.
Eric is a family man who loves and pours himself into his family. He also encourages others to make meaningful connections and relationships. When you are figuring out what you want to do, find meaning and make something purposeful and make it a priority.
But some people aren't humble enough to say, yeah, I did work for this one, but this one, let's just be honest.
Eric Thomas is proof that even if you come from poverty, you too can become successful.
In the exact same way you try to do it, and it didn't end up like this.
We focus so much on what we don't have. We focus on what everybody else has. Like, we always want to focus on the disadvantage. And I'm not saying we're not disadvantaged, but if you make that the focus, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So I'm just going to focus on a couple things I do have. Life, I got a brain, I know how to read, I know how to speak. So what my father wasn't there? So what, I didn't go to the best school district? So what, I got kicked out? So what, I got kicked out of college? So what? I'm going to focus on what I can do, what I do have, and what I can become. And that's what I think the problem is. I just feel like your gifts will make room for you. And when you're trying to be somebody else, you block your gifts. You block your opportunity. So you don't see me trying to throw a football. You don't see me trying to, put a basketball. You see me speaking. You see me serving, helping kids get their GED. I blew up with teaching a GED class. That's how I became famous. And people always ask me, why did you start there? Because somebody helped me to get my GED. So that's the one thing I had. I had knowledge on how to get a GED. I didn't know how to do anything else, but I had just gotten a GED. So I'm like, hey, I got a GED. If I can't do nothing else, I can psychologically tell you how to get prepared for a GED.
And I was just asking people like, when you get in the car, what's the first thing you look for? Like, and I got a GED, so I'm trying to get deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the first thing? And they say, well, you look to see how much gas is in the car. And so for me, that's what it's all about, fuel. And I didn't have a lot of it at 15, 16 because, found out my mother lied. The person that was raising me wasn't my real father. I was actually raised by my real father and didn't know who he was. So I was with my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, I was with his family, all my cousins, but they just said he was a friend of the family. Yeah, so my mom was sweet with it. Much respect for mom. So I don't know how she pulled it off, but I would be around him, around my family. It was always like this guy was a friend of the family. So just homeless for a while, sleeping in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans. Yeah, eventually dropped out of high school. It's like, I was going to high school every day, but after a point, my boys was like, what are you going for? We're out here making this money and you going to school for what? Like, what are you going, you're not doing anything. You're not going to Harvard, you're not going to Yale, you're not even going to community college with your grades. So you just need to just quit and let it go. So eventually I dropped out and I started going to the church. What they do right, but I'm super proud of the challenges that they have and how they get through it. You got a lot of kids in this generation committing suicide or attempting suicide or, just giving up, man, getting on drugs and different things. And I'm proud of Jalen, has had whatever his challenges are academically, whatever, decisions, but he has used them to iron, sharpen iron and go to another level. I looked at Jada. Now, she won't tell me when she dating and all of that, but Mom, I can't give you all the info, you know what I'm saying? But mom is like, she's effectively handling those challenges and becoming more of a woman. I couldn't be more proud of, of both of them, man. Didi has done a phenomenal job as a mom. She say, I helicopter, you know what I'm saying? But Didi coaches them like I think she's a little soft on Jalen than she is on me and Jada. But man, super proud of Didi and super proud of my kids. And I just want to be one of those guys when I die, while they build on the legacy, they're not living off the legacy, but they're building on it and making sure that each generation does its part to, to be a service to humanity. I don't believe in the word procrastination. Like, I don't really believe in that word. I told a young lady in Australia who told me she was a procrastinator. I said, look, if I told you to meet me here tomorrow at 5 a.m. and I'm gonna give you $3 million, where would you be? She said, I'm gonna be right there at 4:59, ready to get that $3 million. And I said, so then there's no such thing as procrastination. What it is it's not important to you, right? It's not meaningful to you. It's not something that's urgent to you. And when something is not urgent, you put it off. So yep, you're in school, yes, you probably are getting grades, etc. But if it's not meaningful to you, if it's not important to you, then you're not gonna make it a priority. So what you have to do is find out, how can you make it meaningful? How can you make it purposeful? How can you make it stick? And when you can find that out, I promise you, you'll get up early, you'll get there first, and you'll do whatever it takes to make that goal a reality. So for me, no such thing as procrastination. It's a such thing as it's not a priority to you.
Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.